everyone. Welcome to Psychic Connection, Collaboration over Competition. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Abhaya Cordova. So welcome, Abhaya.
Thank you. Thanks, Phyllis.
Yeah. So I don't want to waste any time because we have so many questions for you. You're such a very, very interesting person. So let's start right in. And I want to ask you, you have a multitude of intuitive abilities, but yet you focus on touch, right? Getting information through touch. So can you please explain more about your touch sensitivity?
Well, I think that's where I started, was realizing that I had a touch sensitivity and that information was coming to me. And then through that, it guided me into a whole nother journey of just needing to understand what that was all about.
Okay.
And so I went through Reiki and integrated energy therapy to learn more about how to work with the angels and clear emotions out. Because I wasn't just getting information physically, I was getting emotional information. And then I started getting soul information and things like that. So I think it's been guiding me to continue my studies and training. And now that I've been training now for over 20 years, touch is just a small piece of where I get my information at this juncture.
Right, but I'd like to let everyone know that I had a session with you, and it was through Zoom though, because of COVID. And even though you couldn't touch me, right, because it was through Zoom, you used a surrogate.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that. That was kind of neat. Yeah, how you did that.
Yeah, so you can use a proxy to use as just as you said, like an instead of person, and that ends up being a way that you can access that person's information. And I do like to touch, so I like to have something under my hands. I don't necessarily need something under my hands. I just prefer it.
Right. Okay. So the person doesn't have to physically be with you. It will still work, even, like on Zoom or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So you talked to me about rest, restore, and recalibrate. So
yes.
Can you elaborate on
that? Sure. I believe that we all have this inner compass, an inner guiding light, yet we may not have been encouraged to follow our own wisdom, our own innate intelligence, either because of societal or cultural demands. So distractions, things like that. So what I'll do is I create a really safe place for you to let go of any anxiety or depression, because that's what can happen when we're off track, is that our inner compass starts to call out to us. And so what I'll do is to put you into a nice state of deep rest on the soul level, and into deep quiet. And so then your nervous system can restore itself, and then you can recalibrate to your highest calling, your highest purpose.
Oh, okay. That's really good. And I just want to throw in too, when you read for me, it was really phenomenal. It truly is an experience. So I definitely highly recommend, having a session with Abhaya. But, also we talked about that you love to learn, right? So do you have some favorite classes that you've taken, or any that have truly made an impression on you?
Yeah. They have all fed one into the next, to be honest. I remember one of my first yoga classes, and the teacher said to me, take off your glasses. The only place you need to see is within. And that was the first time I had been invited in to myself, where everything else was all externalized processes. So I just remember that moment where I was given permission to look within. And I think that ended up having the most profound, long-lasting impact that I can even remember it now, 20 years later, that moment.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And yeah, take off your glasses and look within. You don't need them, right? Look within. The answers are truly within, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. But you are a teacher as well. So can you let us know what topics that you offer?
Sure. I teach integral yoga and meditation as this foundation. deep relaxation. But then I also teach traditional Usui Reiki, integrated energy therapy, which is an angelic healing, and theta healing. I also teach about yoga. I teach about the yogic scriptures. So there's a lot of things that I do. They all seem to support each other really well.
Right.
Yeah, theta healing is a very powerful healing modality.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, can you explain it a little further? Yeah.
Well, it's really just empowering people to learn how to connect to God for themselves. So we believe, there's a consciousness that exists within everything. It's the same consciousness everywhere that exists within everything, everyone, always, and always will be. So it's that one consciousness that we connect to. And then once you have access to that, then you can connect to everything. And that's what I do now with Through the Touch, is I connect to that one consciousness that exists within everything as well.
Okay. Wow. Since you teach, and you have a variety of clients, can you share some stories with us? Some interesting stories where maybe a client had a revelation, or one of your students came for one purpose, but something else happened for them.
Yeah, I mean, every single session is different. I don't, there's no cookie cutter. I have a really vast array of tools, so every session looks different for everybody.
Right.
And when I move into that connection that speaks that inner wisdom of your soul, I'm channeling information to you that that you might need to hear for your deepest healing,
Right.
or any underlying issues that might be present for you. So these can come from either a genetic imprint, they can come from a past life, or by something that has been occurred in your life or been told to you. So these things can really affect our consciousness and create ripples or distortions in our energy field. So that's what I tend to clear out, so that we can see ourselves with greater clarity and each other. But so, for instance, like if somebody comes in with depression,
Right.
my first instinct is usually just to clear out their energy field. Okay. So we want to get back to the person and their original state.
Right.
Balance out their brain chemistry, heal their aura. Like there's some foundational things that I'll do for everybody if they come in. And that's just a starting point. And then once that happens, then we'll see if the person can accept and receive unconditional love. And then you go down a rabbit hole to see what might be blocking or preventing the person from receiving healing. And healing comes in our food, it comes from nature, it comes from all forms. So, every person's story is so different.
Right. Well, can you share one story of a particular either student or a client?
uh,
And don't use names. You don't have to use any names.
yeah. I mean, I think I just end up, I until I have somebody like under my hands, I don't hold on to the information. The soul holds the information.
Okay.
There's just so many miracles. I believe that I just witness miracles on a daily basis. That's
Okay.
what I get to do. And it could be a subtle shift in someone's perception, or a deeper miracle of a physical healing that people would identify as that. When I connect to the different planes of existence, different things will come through, whether it be a connection to someone who has passed, or your and guardian angels. Things will show up, and then I'm channeling the reading from there. Specifically, I don't know. It's very unique and individual to each person.
Right. Yeah. But do some of your students have that like aha moment, like, oh wow, this really does make sense, or oh wow, I really can do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I just teach people, to be able to trust themselves, trust their intuition, and take it from there. And literally those moments of aha or wonder are just feeling wonderstruck is just a constant every day
Yeah.
type of experience. And it's always wonderful. It's always magical, but,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just
you start
amazing.
to live from that place of course, there's no denying or doubt
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
anymore.
Well, if someone would like to become a client or would like to become a student, take one of your classes, how can they best contact you?
You can go on my website if you want, abhayacordova.com. You can reach me through Instagram at reverend.abhaya.cordova or on Facebook, same handle. And you'll be able to connect with me directly either through instant message or on the website. There's ways to call me and connect.
Yeah. Can you say your website very slowly one more time?
Sure.
Podcast also. So if you say it very slow, that's
www.abhayacordova.com. And my name is ABHAYACORDOVA.
Yeah. So this way, anyone listening, definitely reach out to Abhaya.
Yeah, and I set up free 15-minute phone consultations for people so that they can meet me, discuss what it is that they might need to see if what I do is the right fit for them.
Oh, that's excellent. So they can talk to you and say, gee, I have this issue. Do you think you can help me? And then you can let them know.
Yeah.
Or you can
make sure that it's a right fit for you before you come in.
Oh, that's excellent.
Or before we connect for a longer session.
Yeah, because not many people do that. Yeah, so that's great. I think people would really like that a lot. So that's a good one. So you are a firm believer that God is within each of us, right? Not really on the outside, but really within.
Well, everywhere. Outside too. We sometimes omit that it exists within. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. But I guess where we're talking about going within, I guess, where to find answers? More so? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Now you had a mentor, you had said, that taught you. Can you, talk about your relationship with that person and the effect that, the person had on you?
I've had a lot of people help me along the way. I've had some really great teachers, and one of my Reiki master teacher and IET master instructor has been a really profound impact on me. I have a guru, and I'm in a lineage of a yoga tradition, and that's really helped stabilize me and keep me on a steady path, so that I don't get too far away, far out. It just keeps my feet on the ground and keeps me grounded with all the healing techniques. My theta healing teachers have been incredible. I believe that I was born with certain gifts, but through a life of a lot of different traumatic experiences and my own need for self-healing, a lot of those got covered up, but we've been unwinding them now for years. And I feel very strong. I definitely don't doubt the path that I'm meant to be on here and to share with others so that they can see a way out of any darkness that they may be experiencing. There is a light, and there are people to show you the way. And so go where you feel resonant to. And that's the best, that's the best way to proceed, is just keep following the lights. They're there to guide you.
Right. Do you feel everyone has intuition?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Just a matter of, I guess, tuning in or,
trusting it and learning what your special gift is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you do feel we have special gifts as well?
Everybody has a reason to be here.
Right. Yeah. We're all here for a purpose, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So what advice would you give someone who wants to explore, more of their intuitive abilities?
I would say that it's just really important to get to know yourself really well. If you start today and to start developing your lifelong meditation practice, that's going to be a really good way to get to know yourself and how you think and what's not you. And then it helps to increase your discernment. And when you can increase your discernment, then you'll have better access to the things that are for you and what is not for you. Okay. So yeah, I would just say learning how to breathe. Learning how to breathe, how to listen to the breath, how to connect to that deep inner quiet and deep inner stillness. is a good starting point. And it is a definite lifelong journey, and it's really worth it just to start now.
Now, don't sound like the
It's never
present.
too late to start now.
Never too late, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of late, before we run out of time, okay.
Sure.
I do have two questions from people. So the first question is from Mary, and Mary would like to know, will I adopt a child?
Will she adopt a child?
Yes, she would like to know
that. That's a tough question. I think in general, where I would start with that is asking the person what they're hoping a child will bring to their life.
Right.
And then finding out what they would hope to offer a child, what they were hoping to receive, and what they were hoping to give. And then clear up whatever is going on around that for them.
Right.
And then connecting to the soul of the child to find out who's choosing Mary. Okay, who's
Right.
ready for her.
For her, yeah.
Yeah, and then creating some opening there. It does seem that there's a lot of healing that would need to take place around that. For it to happen. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. But is there the longing for that child is definitely will be a good impetus to create some of the deeper healing that needs to happen before they're ready for each other.
They're ready. Okay. Oh, okay. So that sounds good. Now the second question is from Brenda, and Brenda would like to know, will my son marry his girlfriend?
I don't like to do readings for other people. Meaning like if I'm going to read for her, for Brenda, that's one thing. But to ask a question for somebody else, without their permission, it just seems a little invasive. I do provide a lot of confidentiality with the services that I offer, and I don't consider myself to be or willing to cross like a psychic spy type boundary where I'm spying on another person. But I can tell Brenda that she will be a grandmother if that helps. If that helps her.
Nice. Okay.
If that helps her.
Yeah, I bet she'll be happy to hear that, right?
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to have grandchildren.
I wonder what is her most exciting thing, but that will.
Okay, I'm sure that will brighten her day, right? That's good news. So that's nice to have good news, definitely. So Abhaya, wow, the time really flew. You had so much information to give us. I really appreciate it. And I just want to point out, I love that picture behind you. It's
thank you. Thank you. I painted that years ago, preparing it for my space.
You painted that?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you actually painted it beautiful. So you're an artist as well.
I am an artist, yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I paint healing portals.
Oh, I didn't get to ask you about that really quick before we sign off. What do you mean about painting healing portals?
Yeah, I put a lot of energy into those, so they're layers. There's layers of painting throughout them. So by the time there's this in the background, but there's a lot underneath it that creates healing energy, and that I painted it as a way to connect to my healing space before I even had one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this has been in my healing space for years and years, and I have a lot of other paintings around the house that I'm working on.
Beautiful. Now, will you do paintings for other people?
Not really right now. I'm just doing them, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not. I'm just doing them for
yourself.
For my pastime,
Yeah, for yourself. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm getting the feeling that you might want to offer that.
In time, we'll see. Yeah, definitely.
Because I think I'm just feeling that they can really benefit you know,
Yeah,
the healing abilities of the beauty, you know.
absolutely.
Yeah, you
There's a myriad of things and only so many hours in the day.
well, this is true, isn't it? We can only do so much. Very
I
true.
know. I'm
Yeah.
still raising a little one, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. I have time. So we'll
Yeah.
see where
Yeah.
things evolve for me.
Right. You do have time. So,
Yeah.
wow. Once again, yeah, we ran out of time, but there was so much that
Thank
we
you,
really
Phyllis.
talked about. But thank you so much, Abhaya, for sharing all your insights with us. And again, once again, please give us your website for anyone who would like to.
Oh, sure. AbhayaCordova.com,
Right.
or reach out to me on Instagram at Rev Abhaya Cordova, or Facebook. I have a page there as well.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so very much for spending time and all of your wisdom and advice. We truly appreciate it. So I want to thank all the viewers and all of the listeners today. And everyone, take care and God bless.